Discus Lariat.
The huge suplex.
And if you miss anything, of course, you can watch it there on those sites as well. But download the Roku channel, the Roku system, and download the WWDBTV channel, and all the shows are there. Jennifer is echoing that as well, Mr. Producer. So we'll just keep going for now at the moment.
I wonder if it works on flip phones.
I don't know. You want to take yours out and find out?
You want me to get up and go get it?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure. Get a little tinfoil on the antenna. And sound is back. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate that. All right. We are up and running even without the flip phone. So as always, Mr. Matt. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Woo! Take two. How's your week?
It was good. Just dealing with all the knuckleheads on Fremont Street. And
See, flip phone.
I love it. He wasn't kidding.
yeah, he's got the real thing.
That's awesome.
Jethro Gibbs is
Surprised
looking
you're going to
for
bring a rotary phone next time.
Wait, if the cord was long enough, who knows?
2003 is calling.
That's right.
2 cans in the string.
That's right. Chief, how was your week, sir?
Outstanding.
Excellent.
I'm healing very well.
Any news yet on that stuff?
The biopsies were negative.
Excellent. Good to hear.
Congratulations.
Good to hear. Excellent.
Yeah.
So very good. Very
Good, good. And of course, everybody out there, again, we appreciate you taking time with us today. By the way, as I promised last week, if you go to the Thoughts Count Anywhere Facebook page, I did post the picture of the hieroglyphics with which our historian, Mr. Burnett, was trying to write here on the table.
You mean the chicken scratch?
There were some responses. One, I think, was a legitimate attempt at a response.
Yes.
The others were just kind of having some fun, which is okay, too. So keep them coming. If you go to the TCA page, you will be able to see the picture, put your thoughts in there, and some of the good ones we'll share along the way.
And
We should have posted to the fact that, like, put wrong answers only just to see what people
You know what? I thought about that, but of all the responses that are there, there's only one that is somewhat legitimate. The rest are wrong answers. So,
and the only other thing we worry about, Thomas, we hope you're cleaning aisles up today.
That's
with
right.
Chocolate syrup and all
I hope
that good
somebody
stuff.
throws a bunch of frozen peas at you.
now, Jennifer, the teacher that she is, kindergarten teacher out in Hawaii, looking at the clip in the picture, the first thing she noticed the interesting pen grip with which our historian uses. He pretty much holds it like a club. So
He needs a grown up.
he does. Right, exactly. That's all it is. The Gothic Guru is
We were
here.
taught.
He will share his insight of wrestling. He's a former wrestler as well. We'll get into that a little bit, but he's also, more importantly, is known as the Gothic Guru because you're a life coach too.
I am. I'm an alternative thinking life coach, motivational speaker here in Las Vegas. And I'm just really trying to spread a positive message out there.
And we'll get into some of the backstory as far as you choose to share. But the important thing is you're helping people. And that's the important part of what we enjoy about folks here in Las Vegas. those who extend a helping hand to those who need it.
I love the community.
Absolutely. All right. So as always, before we get started with our particular rumor segment, listen, it's a fun part of the show. We hope you continue and enjoy it. It is known as...
It's your little whisper thing, buddy.
Story Time with Matt.
I faked him out today.
Story Time.
No,
That's what he calls it. He fucking
you don't
forgot.
do it.
And now here is your storytelling host, Matt Mullen, the Mr. Rogers of the Fremont Street neighborhood. Take it away, Matt. What's happening in the neighborhood?
There was a guy who wasn't really anything like too crazy this week. It was too cold for too much stupidity. But I got a call of this guy that was acting suspicious. So I get over there, and this guy's has all his workout equipment spread out all over Fremont Street, and he was doing push-ups and stuff. And I was like, that's the weirdest way I've seen somebody do push-ups in forever. And he's just going after all this stuff. And he grabs a lighter, and I'm like, hold up, this dude's smoking a crack pipe in between freaking sets. And there's the marshals rolled up on him. He ended up getting arrested just because of what he was doing. But it was wild. I'll show you guys the video in a minute. I forgot to send to him because
Under the canopy?
no, it was right by Dirt Dogs.
Okay.
The ultimate pre-workout.
But
I
funny,
guess,
so-
most people just end up using 5-hour energy or Red Bull or something. But I guess,
That's
but I
the
guess
more
whatever works.
effective, quicker way.
I
Apparently.
guess,
meant business.
Wow.
I guess, for sure. Listen, anything goes on. And we share these stories more for the lighter side of Las Vegas. We're not trying to put Vegas into any negative spotlight. People know what goes on at Fremont. But since we have a man whose boots are on the ground, so to speak, some of the juicier stories without doing any harm to anybody is what people like to know about. So,
That was actually one of the gentler stories.
that's right. It was.
He's had in a while.
Exactly. He did say it was a relatively quiet week. So
It was a pretty quiet week.
But anyway, all right, let's get to it, guys. We got a lot to go on. By the way, I just want to remind everybody, the start of hour number 2, we have our special guest, Impact Wrestling star Brian Myers will be joining us live on video. No, not you. Live on video. I have no where he is, literally parts unknown. We want to thank the folks at Impact, Scott and Scott Hosey, our friend, and Ross for helping us make that happen. That'll be hour number 2.
Right.
And then until then, let's get started with some rumors, gentlemen. I hear voices. Rumor is one of the reasons for the breakup between Baron Corbin and JBL this week was because Triple H said, it ain't working. It ain't what's best for business. And so JBL, sorry, we see what is that hanging over his head? Is that his hood?
You actually got the video?
Jeez. Anyway, Triple H said, it ain't working. It's not what's best for business. So we're done. Thoughts on Baron Corbin in particular?
I like the old Baron Corbin with the cool music and the darker side Baron Corbin.
He had the long hair?
The Lone Wolf?
Yeah, Lone Wolf, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the Lone Wolf version. That was the cool version. Once they started with this happy Corbin nonsense, he's gone downhill. And like JBL said, it's like polishing a turd at this point.
I wonder if JBL's going to take a hiatus from WWE right now.
Well, they did say that because of what has happened, that he will be less seen on TV now.
Okay.
So he will not be as visible on camera. Obviously, they had something in the works between him and Corbin that obviously they had better plans for, but obviously in the 3 months since they tried this, it was going nowhere fast.
I like the old Corbin.
The original, the Lone
Yes,
Wolf, right?
I
I think everybody's in agreement with that.
Yep,
You know,
for sure.
I love the transition from the Lone Wolf to Happy Corbin when he was homeless and having the worst luck, and then he finally hit it big in Vegas.
Right.
You know, I appreciate that. That was my favorite. That was my favorite Corbin.
And then he brought on Madcap to
Yeah.
be kind of his sidekick and all of that. But it's interesting now because Madcap, he's in the chamber
Look at where he's
match,
at.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
He's surpassed, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So good for him. So here's the $68,000 question. What do you do with Corbin now? Do you hide him for a couple of months and bring back the Lone Wolf, or do you have to do something with him because he's too good of a performer?
Put a mask on him.
Okay.
The tallest luchador.
Well, that's an
I
interesting
want to see
idea.
him come out and be like, "Oh, you think this is polishing a turd?" and kind of like just snaps and starts going after everybody and
Okay.
hits the end of days on anything moving. And
Sort of like a cross.
Or Brock Lesnar, the way
if they
he
could do
destroys
something better
shit.
with him
Yeah,
too, that'd
yeah.
be delightful.
Brock.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of more of a berserk side of him because it's not going the way he wants it.
Let's
and
see him go
expects
back
it
to the
be.
darker, more aggressive side.
Like the berserker.
The berserker. That's
Not
kind of
so
where it's
happy
leaning.
Corbin.
But what's that? Not so happy
Not so
Corbin.
happy
Yeah,
Corbin,
there you
yeah.
go. That would be a good monitor.
Call
The
him
not
Grumpy
so
Corbin.
happy. That's right. Exactly.
I like that.
I like that.
Rumor is Finn Balor and Edge will actually compete in a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. Thoughts, prayers. Who knows for that match? What do you guys think? There's another headline. I mean, do they need another headliner match like that for WrestleMania, or is this like going to be it for the feud at WrestleMania?
You got to remember it's 2 nights, so they've got to.
Sure.
Yeah.
They have to have matches.
Mhm.
Yeah, one or two.
I'm okay with it.
Does it need to be in a Hell in a Cell?
I'm not
Match?
mad at it.
Okay.
Is that going to be a winner takes control of Judgment Day kind of a match?
Judgment Day on a pole.
Yeah.
That feud has been going off for a while, so it's
Yeah.
a good way to end the feud.
Mhm.
And I also heard the rumor that it might be the Brood Edge versus the Demon Finn
Oh,
Balor.
I hope so.
I saw that
Which
too.
that would be really cool. Just take my money. Here you go.
Bring in
WWE.
Gangrel as special guest referee or something.
Edge's
People
Brood
like-
entrance is so cool now.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it was like SummerSlam when it was here. We were like right by the stage. And when they started setting that thing up, and I was like, what are they doing? And I saw the thing go down, and I'm like, oh my God, Edge is coming out.
Oh, wow. You saw that?
I had
live?
like the coolest pictures of that. And I even showed Edge when I saw him after
Yeah.
the thing. He's like, you have to send me those.
That is cool.
He's
That's
like, those are
cool.
better than the ones WWE got.
That's exactly right. Sometimes the best shots are better from the stands location from a fan perspective than the regular photographer. Chief, your thoughts on that match? What do you think?
I think it's good. I want to see it. I want to see it in the cell.
Okay.
Okay. I want to see some blood and guts.
No question
All
that
right.
can happen for sure, right? In that match,
You know.
just no toolbox
let's,
or red lighting.
let's make it interesting
Okay.
for the fans.
Sounds like a plan. Last rumor for
Maybe
now.
table, ladders, and chairs match
See,
inside the
inside
ring.
There we
that
go.
would be a great stipulation. That would be great. That I think would rock.
I'm formulating my ideas.
Don't hurt yourself.
I'm not.
You should go WCW and throw it in a triple cage.
Oh, there you
we
go.
go.
Oh yeah, like
Or
the
on
war
top
games.
of the platform, like they did years ago.
Yeah.
That would be good. The one the cornet fell off of.
Oh, yeah.
Last rumor we have here is Gunther will not be Brock Lesnar's opponent at WrestleMania. So does that mean they've gotten away from Lesnar and Lashley for WrestleMania now, or is that going to culminate with Chamber coming up? That's done. That they're not going to forward that into WrestleMania between Lashley and Brock, and now Gunther's out there without an opponent apparently.
Wow.
Did
I
got
kind
me?
of still want to see Cross versus Gunther
Okay.
if it's not Brock, but I really want to see Brock versus Gunther. I think we're going to end up getting stuck with a non-finish at Elimination Chamber, and then we get Brock versus Bobby Lashley or Bobby Who at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
Bobby who?
What do you think, James?
That'd be a good match, Brock and Gunther, but I'd have a hard time believing that Gunther would be able to stand up to Brock. They're both big guys, but Brock is just so dominating, and Gunther's good. I don't think he's coming to his own against a guy like Brock yet.
Okay. Used to be back in the day, and we talk about this all the time, that the Intercontinental title was always a title that groomed the next world champion, but now we have a Universal one champion thing. But what's your thoughts on Gunther holding the IC belt? I mean, I thought he's been doing a great job with it. He's sort of made it relevant again. What do you guys think about that?
Gunther's a tough son of a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I think he can stand up to anyone, and I mean anyone in the WWE. I don't think there's a problem there.
Okay.
So I think Gunther and Brock would be a great match. Personally, myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a real good champion and a real good wrestler. I think it's just with him being Intercontinental champion, I think he's the one that's going to use that as the boost to get to the main event picture. But
Okay.
with Roman being the only champion, there's only so many people you can put in the main event picture in one time. So he's kind of just like right there.
Okay. So obviously they have to resolve the belt situation with Roman and splitting or not splitting and all that argument.
Like if they actually split the two titles, I see him being champion in 2023 at some point.
Okay.
I think he's a perfect Intercontinental champion, but I still can't see him quite at heavyweight champion level. I can't see him selling enough merch. I can't see him getting the fan base together to really support like at least a long reign as a champion.
Okay, interesting point, Chief.
Is he making the Intercontinental belt more relevant than the U.S. belt right now?
Wow.
That's a good question.
I think in a way the U.S. belt has a little more relevancy only because of how it's being defended in the next pay-per-view, right? It's being defended in the cage, is it not?
Yeah. It's
right. Or the Elimination Chamber, right? It's being defended there.
Correct.
Where is Gunther on the card for Chamber for a title or not? Not yet.
Not yet.
So I think that alone can kind of tell you where the belt is, and that's role reversal. Because the U.S. title never was that stepping stone.
That's what.
So that's a great point.
Yeah.
And also that Roman's also on SmackDown where the Intercontinental title is, so it is the secondary belt.
There you go.
And on Monday Night Raw, that's the only belt, so they pretty much treat that as the WWE Championship. Because then you get Seth Rollins going after the belt and all the big guys.
That's a great point. That is the only belt on that side, so they have to make that a draw for Raw. To satisfy the channels and the sponsors too. But yeah, I think it's a great point.
I'm formulating.
Wow, Chief,
he's rubbing off.
He's rubbing off. All right, with that, we're gonna. I don't want to know what's rubbing off, but anyway, that's a whole other time.
Get the flip phone.
Exactly. Anyway, with that, let us take a quick break. Our first break of the morning. You are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. James Ward, our special guest. We got a lot to talk about, including Jerry Lawler, and hoping he's doing well. We'll be right back.
Thoughts Count Anywhere. Y'all watching it. These are my new tag team partners, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, a.k.a. Marty the Mob, and you're watching the Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Enjoy.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Stephen Fatu. I'm here with my man, Big Chief. I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere. This is Impact Wrestling's Dash and Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast.
Hi, I'm Sean Navari. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is the Essential Character EC free on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere. The podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition.
Hey, we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Tessa Blanchard and Ozzy, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Ozzy.
Hey, Ozzy, what's up, Oz?
Welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. Matt, Chief, special in-studio guest James Ward. I'm Aaron Phillips. We're talking wrestling. We went over some rumors. Now, probably the big news this past week outside of the ring was, of course, the news that Jerry Lawler had a stroke earlier this week. Made national news, actually, as well, because we know what happened on Raw, how many years ago on live TV that was. Suffered a stroke, apparently. What's the updates? We were talking about during the break, but what kind of news can we share that we've seen?
I heard he was moved out of the intensive care unit, and they expect him to make a full recovery. He's dealing with a speech therapist and still having trouble on his right side getting around. And I'm sure with like a lot of therapy and all that kind of stuff, he'll bounce back. He's a strong dude.
Okay.
And you know, the people like Jimmy Hart and JR, going to visit or talk to him on telephone, that's got to help him too.
Oh, absolutely.
That's definitely got to help him.
Sure. So. Jerry Lawler is probably, and we always ask the question to a lot of our guests, all of our guests, about their Mount Rushmore. And I'm very surprised that Lawler's name really doesn't make I can't think of anybody that's ever given us his name as part of the Mount Rushmore for them. Given what he did in Memphis in the South and bringing all these wrestlers up that are mainstream, starting probably in the Attitude Era for the most part, coming up through his territory and the people he's taught, not to mention the word puppies and how that became such an important part of the vernacular back in the day. But, he's a pretty big institution in wrestling. And I don't know if outside of the normal wrestling genre like us, the casual fan really knows, other than he went after with Andy Kaufman back in the day, what he's really meant to wrestling.
Especially the younger fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the casual fans just see him the commentator for Raw. This is a shame.
The thing, I think, part of it's got to do with the territories too.
Okay.
You look at the people that they mention, Mount Rushmore. Okay, Flair, Hogan, those people. They were on the big screens.
Right.
The New York and the Charlotte area, the Florida. When you get down to the Memphis area, that was a tight area.
Sure.
That was a small area. The only thing that Lawler really did outside of that territory notable is when he won the AWA title.
Okay.
Other than that, until he got to WWE, and broadcasting, that's when I think he started getting really noticed by,
and that tells
by
you,
fans.
Right, and that tells you the strength of WWE, marketing promotion team juggernaut back in the day for
Linda McMahon did a great job.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. And that's a guy who, like many athletes or entertainers, where they create second and third careers for themselves, where, like you said, because of the commentary stuff, nobody really knew him, but he became part of the WWE machine. And now, he's got this whole other generation, the younger generation that knows him from being behind the microphone with JR, Michael Cole, and all those guys. So it's a whole nother legacy.
As Jerry said many, many times, he's a great artist.
Right.
But if it wasn't for Jackie Fargo bringing him into Memphis wrestling, there would be no Jerry Lawler.
Right. Everybody has where did you start? When you started how long did you wrestle?
Well, I was in South Texas doing it, training for years with GCW.
Okay.
Longest time. Here at FSW in Vegas, I never got full on wrestling. I had a lot of personal issues that I was dealing with.
Right.
Well, on and off for 2-3 years.
Where did you? So you got your start in Texas.
Yeah, Corpus Christi, Texas. South
All right.
Texas.
And what was it? You said it right there in your FSW. You didn't get full blown because of other stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what precluded you from moving forward into a full-blown wrestling career if you had wanted it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Everything from paying bills, the family issues, to personal demons.
Sure.
It's my biggest regret up to this point. But I'm 36. DDP didn't get started until he was 36.
Exactly.
There's always still a chance.
That's right. That's
Never say never.
Never say never.
Do you have an itch to get in the ring?
I do. I really do.
Are you training at all? Are you doing any work?
I'm
just in case.
Good shape right now.
Okay.
I'm still teaching boxing, kickboxing classes, so I stay in shape. But the idea of getting into the ring is absolutely is big on my mind right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you need a manager, I'm good with kendo stick.
I love it. I love it.
Exactly. Exactly. That is what Chief is known for. Again, a quick shout out. And Ronald, yes, thank you. He is also an exceptional artist, illustrator as well, which you guys touched on as well. So one again, shout out to everybody that's listening on the WWDB TV mobile apps. Thank you for taking us on the go with you. All right. So speedy recovery to Jerry Lawler. He is 1 in a million in the world of professional wrestling nowadays.
Yeah.
And of course, he's still relevant because he's on the pre-show, the kickoff shows for all the WWE's pay-per-views, or I'm sorry, PLEs, premium live events.
I've met him a couple times. He's also really cool to all the fans.
Is he?
Too.
Well, that's good.
I just saw Jerry this year out here at CAC convention.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're a great guy. And you know what? Here's the great thing. You look at people when they go to the big cons and things like that, and their autographs and everything,
Right.
$50, $60. What would I give you for Trish Stratus last year? 60, I think, something like that. Jerry, I had an old picture of Jerry Lawler.
No.
Old one.
No way.
Before you were born. And $20.
Not bad.
Is it $20? That is That's what it's about.
Mhm.
As he said to me, it's about the fan.
That's
if
right.
it wasn't for the fan,
That's right.
none of us would be here.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, real quickly before I move on, there's something going on February. What is the dates? February 24th, 5th, and 6th, I believe. Some card show that Saturday and Sunday. I believe we have some info on that, don't we, Chief?
Sam's Town Sports Card Toys and Collectibles, Saturday, February 25th, 26th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. $5 admission at Sam's Town Hotel and Gambling Hall. Some of the guests on Saturday: Rikishi, Sabu, Willie Gault, and the Royal Hawaiians. Royal Hawaiian, Sonny, and Roxy Esther. And that's it. That's all. That's all I'm giving out right
That's
now.
it. That's
you
called
got to
the tease.
stay tuned in to
That's
get
right.
some more.
And of course, Friday night is Impact No Surrender, their pay-per-view out at Sam's Town. We'll go over the matches here momentarily. That'll be a big night. And of course, Saturday and Sunday night, they have some of their TV shows being done there as well. So big weekend.
It's going to be a long
Come on
weekend.
down. By the way, Thoughts Count Anywhere will actually be there doing our show live from Sam's Town from 9 to 11 that day.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Wake up. Take a note, John, because without you, we can't do it. And then from 12 to 1, some guy named Aaron Phillips will be there with his show also from 12 to 1. Continue to talk to some of the wrestlers and people that are there throughout the weekend. So
And
it'll be
come by Chief's table, buy something, and I'll sign an autograph for you.
did they pay
Cheap
you?
plug.
Do they pay you or you pay them to do the autograph?
Cheap plug.
There you go. By the way, speaking of merchandise, at the front of our table, you'll notice some of our merchandise shirts, which you can get at www.thoughtscountanywhere.com. Just go to the shop tab, and these are just some of the shirts that are available. We would appreciate if you support our show by going out there and checking out the shirts. You don't have to get shirts. Take your favorite logo. You can hit the little drop down next to the t-shirt there, and you see all the different items that you can purchase with our logo on it. So there's just some of the shirts there for your convenience. Chief's favorite radio, watching wrestling on radio, is there. Chief's story time, the original, well, not the original, but our current logo, and of course our TC. By the way, all the designs are put together. Matt does a great job for us on our merch shop page. So by all means, please go out there and order your favorite merchandise. All right.
No, that's a cheap plug.
That's a cheap. Well, we're not going to make it cheap because actually John and I talked yesterday after I did the Kiwanis show. We're going to actually put a commercial together for the merchandise. We're going to pull down some pics. We'll write a script. We'll do it. So we're actually going to run a legit commercial to hopefully get people to the website and check out. Plus, we're also talking about extending to do more things to create more interaction with our fan base.
Yep.
You need to make sure you pay attention to our Facebook page. There's going to be a lot of new stuff dropping on there. And I want to thank our newly formed social media team, whose names will remain anonymous.
Thank God.
Exactly. In case you don't like what they have to say, I will protect their identity. More or less.
They're
And
on
then
probation for a week.
that's right. That's right. And then hopefully that may even blossom to maybe a blog page on the website or a vlog, maybe a little bit of both. So there's some new things happening as well down the line to keep you informed with us and Thoughts Count Anywhere. All right. The other big news coming out on Monday night, probably the biggest promo I think that anybody's ever seen or heard was delivered, at least according to all the wrestling pundits out there, was a promo that was done between Cody and Paul Heyman when it got a little personal when Paul brought up of course, Dusty, and then, of course, made the comment at the end about how his favorite son was Roman and all that sort of stuff. And what was your thoughts on the promo, James?
I thought that was a fantastic promo. I had been told from all of my friends prior to watching it, they were like, you have to watch this promo and get a chance to watch it live. Whenever I finally saw it, I got to admit, Cody threw me off. I thought that he was going to come hard at Paul Heyman, burn him. But he gave him that just heartfelt compliment. That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And for a moment, I thought that Paul Heyman was going to be a decent human being. But no, that's when I get to thinking Paul Heyman's a human being.
That's right. See, never think of Paul Heyman again. Chief, what are your thoughts on the promo?
It was great. I mean, it was one of the best segments the whole night.
Okay.
But if you watched SmackDown last night, then our boy Mr. Heyman sort of went after Cody again. And I was really hoping, a great pop. Cody come out on SmackDown last night, but it never happened. So.
Well, they also had Sammy there, though, last night on SmackDown, confronting the Roman thing. And I think that, from what I heard, guys, that the promo Monday night was really sort of a defense mechanism against Sami Zayn because they want to keep Cody and that WrestleMania match more relevant than really what's going on with Sammy.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that promo was done the way that was done out of the gate, having people not forget about the fact that WrestleMania is going to be Cody and Roman thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Matt?
True. It was kind of funny. We saw a walrus cry on Monday.
There you go.
It was it was a really good promo. They were both crying, so it was definitely an emotional thing. Got an emotional response out of all the fans.
Right.
Everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
It was heartfelt.
Absolutely. When you consider now, the interesting conversation today on our 1 millionth favorite show was, can Cody take a loss and not have it affect him? And if he were to take a loss, what would that mean in terms of building the story? Because it was said you only have one shot at redemption in the storyline, and that's this one with him coming back, doing it for Dusty, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that if he doesn't get a belt, that he'll kind of slip back into the position where like a Drew McIntyre is at this point. Protected, but not in the main title picture. What's your thoughts on Cody suffering a loss or not? Can he, can't he? Does he have to win the belt at WrestleMania?
I think it'd be better for him if he won the belt at WrestleMania. I mean, coming back from that injury, the fact that he actually wrestled that match was insane. You know, he's got such a great fan base. And for him to come back after that injury and just, you know, win at WrestleMania, it would just be perfect to me. If he lost that match, I think it'd be a long way back, you know, to take it back up to that level.
Okay. Guys?
For him to be undeniable and uncrowned, he has to win it at WrestleMania. That's like the ultimate story ending of the story he's trying to finish. For him leaving AEW to being like, I always wanted to be WWE champion, I have to do it.
Right. Okay.
To like come back from that injury, dealing what he did, and he has to beat Roman at WrestleMania. But I did read something kind of crazy that if Roman walks in WrestleMania as champion, it's like 990 something days as him as champion. So will WWE really give up that belt before 1,000 days hits?
Oh, good point.
They also were talking about coming up with a brand new belt, possibly, if the storyline would have gone down a certain path with maybe Sammy going at it with him at WrestleMania, that they were going to create a brand new belt, supposedly, for Cody to win on maybe the first night. A brand new belt, so Cody has a belt to accomplish what he's been talking about. But it seems to be that they've gone away from that. But that
then once Cody said he was going to bring back the Winged Eagle belt, I want him to win it 10 times.
Right. Exactly. Are you firing up for a rant, sir, or are we acquiescing? Keep going? Okay. Sounds good.
Can I throw an answer in there?
Please. Yeah.
As I said before, I think it's too soon for Cody to come back and have a championship match.
Okay.
Personal opinion. I think it should go down the road a little bit more. Another 6 months, a year. Cody comes. I think as hard as Sami Zayn has worked his butt off in the last 5 months, he deserves the shot at WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Is Sami Zayn really a bigger draw than Cody Rhodes?
I'm not saying he's a bigger draw. I'm saying he deserves the match for what he's done.
Sit back and watch this.
Then why would you not put the bigger draw in the match, no matter how long R-Truth's been there
It's
forever?
not about the money.
So you're saying R-Truth should get a WWE title shot over?
You don't need to see
a bigger name.
You don't even see R-Truth.
He's injured, actually.
Yeah. So
he is, but he's been there forever.
So scratch that. Okay. I'm saying Sammy deserves the shot at WrestleMania. Okay. We know what's going to happen. Okay. Let's face it. It's going to be KO and Sammy against the Usos. Okay. We knew when Cody come back, we knew Cody was going to get the shot for the championship belt. Okay. We all knew it as wrestling fans or as marks or whatever you want to call us. We all knew it. All right. I'm saying it's too soon. I'm saying that there's people that have put their time in at WWE that deserve the shot before Cody. That's all.
So you were happy when Charlotte won the WWE Women's title, right?
I'm done.
She was gone for like 9 months and did it in a day.
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm throwing it back to you, sir.
Oh,
Because he has no argument.
No, it's because
No, his argument's dumb.
because I don't want to talk about stupidity. And I'll leave
It's
it
because
at
he
that.
knows he's wrong.
I heard duct tape fixes that, by the way.
It just muffles the noise.
Do me a favor. Do not put words in my mouth. Okay? I can speak myself.
By the way, in case you're wondering, Friday night, God, Impact No Surrender, February 24. There are a couple of matches that are signed, of course. Impact World Championship match. Josh Alexander will take on Rich Swann. For the women's knockouts world title, the Dream Match, Masha Slamovich will take on Mickie James. And at the top of the hour, we're going to have a guest, one of the participants in the Fatal 4-Way for the number 1 contenders match. We're going to see the winner of Eddie Edwards versus Heath into that match. Steve Macklin or Rhino, two of those 4 gentlemen will join. Is it pronounced PCO or Paco? I want to get the
PCO.
correct. And then, of course, at the top of the hour, the 4th man,
Pure cheese onion.
Mr. Brian Myers, the 4th participant in that 4-way, will be joining us at the top of the hour, and I can't wait to get his take on that match and what's at stake in that. Yes, sir.
And just so we know, on Sunday, I'll give you a breaking news. Rikishi, Sabu, Sin Bodhi.
Congratulations to Sin Bodhi, by the way.
And the Royal Hawaiian, Sonny, and Roxy Astor will be signing on Sunday.
There you
More
go.
to come. So stay tuned.
Okay. Rumor has it, and of course, I'm just going to say this card's subject to change, but as of what we're hearing, our guest that Saturday, gentlemen, I believe in the first hour sometime, the current Impact heavyweight champion, Josh Alexander, who we've spoken to in the past as well, is tentatively scheduled to join us live at Sam's Town.
Oh, that's Sam's Town.
At Sam's Town. And
This
also
is breaking news to me.
Yeah, how come we weren't told about this?
I know high people in low places. That's why.
That's why we have. Never mind.
And then
Never mind.
a second guest who's scheduled to come on, new to Impact,
Oh, say.
Dango is scheduled to join us as well. Dirty Dango will be joining us.
He's scheduled for next Saturday already.
Next Saturday?
Yeah.
Steve Macklin, I think, is coming in on that Saturday. See, I'm throwing names out. I think.
You don't know what the hell he's
James
talking
Ward will be joining us too next week. Who the
Let's
frick
go.
knows?
I'm
I'm just kidding. No, but these are names we're hearing. Yeah, Dango should be joining us next week.
Next week, right?
Macklin, I believe, will be joining us at Sam's. Again, these are just the names that I'm hearing are like 98% confirmed. Who knows? More to come. I'm still waiting to hear what guests I may have. Hopefully for Aaron's hour, we shall see. Ronald says, R-Truth has put in more work than anyone else in WWE. He made everyone believing in air. Oh, yeah, believing or bellowing air. Listen, the greatest moment R-Truth had was making Brock Lesnar crack up in the middle of the ring, and that was a bet. Lesnar didn't know about the bet from what I heard, and he was challenged. R-Truth was challenged by somebody for $20 or $50. See if you can make Lesnar crack up in the middle of the ring, and sure enough, he did in that one night promo. I don't remember what the topic was, but he got Brock pretty good where he had to turn away from the camera. So
R-Truth got over his imaginary friend.
that's right, little Jimmy. Little Jimmy, right? So, listen, it's all
Good wrestler, though.
Truth.
Yeah.
You know, when you watch his backstory, I mean, he was a performer, not like what we have seen him. Let's see, who did he hold the tag title with? It was with Miz, right? That during that one stretch, right?
Yeah.
And really, I think after that, I can't really think of any real serious run. Forget the 24/7 title, up and down Coast 9, whatever. But he really hasn't had since that tag team title, right?
No.
I can't think of anything.
You know who reminds me of R-Truth today?
Who's that?
Kofi. I see a lot of moves Kofi does today.
Oh, you're talking about, athleticism,
Yes.
and his work rate. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. So hopefully R-Truth is getting better. He was injured. I think it was his knee or something, if I remember a while back. Hopefully he's on his way to return as well.
He's in his 50s, R-Truth.
Yeah, that's mid-50s, I think.
Yeah.
He's got to stick around.
52, I think.
When he's done wrestling,
He's older than
he's got to stay part of WWE in some fashion, an ambassador kind of thing or something. I would think it would also be pretty interesting if he were to become, let's say, a teacher down at the Performance Center, wouldn't it?
That'd be a good role for him.
You know, R-Truth,
What's that big tall guy's name?
Amos.
No, not that big.
So it's 51.
Yeah, 51. See, Chief knows what he's talking about.
Once a show.
Anyway, the guy that's the ambassador for WWE now.
Titus O'Neil.
Titus O'Neil, yeah.
Titus needs to go down to NX to the training center
Sure.
and teach
How to go
slide,
under.
how to slide under the ring.
They started showing that again going into the last Rumble. But yeah, listen, he could have been seriously hurt. Thank goodness he wasn't.
Yeah.
If somebody's going to be a teacher, who'd you rather get a promo class from, Titus O'Neil or R-Truth?
Who was the girl?
Right.
That's all he's got.
Who was the girl that was in the 30 man just in that was Chelsea Green, your girl.
In and out in
Went
5
in and out,
seconds.
yeah.
Right. And that
was
led
Chelsea, that's right. Yeah.
That led
I
off this
forgot.
character of being entitled that she's now been portraying as well.
Well, if you're not going to win
yeah.
it, might as well set records.
There we go. Just had records either way.
If you ain't going to win it, get in and out and get a payday.
5 seconds.
March 24th, The Undertaker, the Phenom, will be bringing his one-man show here to Vegas on March 24th. I don't think tickets are on sale yet. I think sometime this week.
Valentine's Day.
So they'll be on. So that's gonna be crazy at the Cosmo, man. I bet that's gonna sell out very quickly. I got to imagine.
Because then they're selling tickets for a meet and greet too.
My source,
Your source.
starting at $200.
Wow. You can only imagine what it would be like on the aftermarket, because we know what's happening with the aftermarket stuff right now.
Oh yeah.
But
They always skyrocket, and then like the day of the show, it's when you start scooping them up.
exactly.
The meet and greet really going to be expensive.
I can only imagine what that's going to be, right? I mean,
I would like the meeting too. I really would.
it would be great. It would be great to meet him.
I met him like twice, and he's like legit one of the only people I've ever been like intimidated of.
Really?
Well, guys, what?
He was like, "How are you?" I was like,
12. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. By the way, before we go to break, the other couple of matches that thus far are scheduled for Impact on that Friday night, 6-man tag team showdown. Time Machine will take on the Bullet Club. And then we have Giselle Shaw will take on Deonna Purrazzo. Our local friend, Jay Vidal, will be there at ringside with Giselle as well. And then also Jonathan Gresham will take on Mike Bailey. Those are the current matches right now. But of course, as always, card subject to change. Duke Lawrence, good to see you, buddy, in the chat room. As always, we miss you in there, bud.
Yeah, come by. I'll give you a kendo stick.
Oh, I'm sure he'll come by just for that, for sure. So with that, Booker T says that the Royal Rumble for sure was his last match. I don't think that's a bad call.
No.
Personally.
No.
I think he took a spot that was not necessary for somebody else that should have been in there, but that's just me.
True.
But with that, we're going to step aside for our second break of the hour. This way we get as much in as we can. Give a few minutes for James to talk about what he does, his work as the Gothic Guru. Take it to the top of the hour. We may take a few-minute break early there so we can get ready for our guest, Brian Myers. With that, you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm Miss Murder, and I have a question for you. Have you ever explored the beauty in horror? I'm Mercedes M. Yardley, known as Miss Murder. I'm a dark fantasist who wears poisonous flowers in my hair. Among my many titles, I'm the author of the Stabby award-winning book titled Apocalyptic Montessa and Nuclear Lulu, A Tale of Atomic Love, as well as winning the prestigious Bram Stoker Award for my novella, Little Dead Red. My short story, Loving You Darkly, also received a Bram Stoker nomination. Check out all of my titles at www.mercedesmyardley.com, where I remind you that all things are dark.
Hey, everybody. I am Aaron Phillips. You are?
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDBTV. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Aloha.
All right, welcome back. Oh my gosh! Just so we get back on the air, the funniest flipping line was said, and you can't really straight face it. We were talking about Santino Marella bring Chief's teeth back. Oh, his teeth are a whole nother character. You haven't watched enough of the shows lately, James. But all right, before we get back to our stuff here, I want to give James a few minutes to talk about what he's done as a Gothic Guru, how all that started and how you help people. Let's share some stuff.
Thank you. It started in Corpus Christi, Texas. I decided that my biggest passion was helping other people realize their true potential and motivating people around me. I went down to Austin, ended up getting certified as a LCIA certified life coach and a motivational speaker. And I started a movement in Corpus Christi called the Spread the Love Movement. Long story short, I would stand on the side of busy roadways holding a sign, the simple message, smile, don't give up, you've got this. And the ultimate goal was if all it did was help one person get through their day, they see that sign, they smile, gives them that chance to not give up on life, reminds them that they're going to be okay. That's what it started out as. Now I'm a life coach. And ultimately, I'm the Batman to your Robin. If you've got dreams, if you're having a hard time, for all the kids out there that weren't able to relate to Tony Robbins, to the Les Browns, I want to be like the rock and roll Tony Robbins. That's the ultimate goal.
Do you choose to share a little bit of that backstory, why you're helping people? I mean, I think it's important for everybody to know. You didn't just wake up one morning and say, that's it. It's great that we do that. We help people. But I want to put it in context if you don't mind.
I was in a really low point. Since I was a real young child, I suffered from manic depression, a lot of personal issues and everything. And there are a lot of people that I knew that were fighting with the same issues. I was a manager at a strip club in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I hit rock bottom. I made some really bad decisions, and I didn't think that I was ever going to come back up from it. I ended up going to church. I ended up finding a lot of good support system, a lot of great people around me that brought me back up. And the fact that I came back up from that, I was like, you know what? I don't ever want to feel that again. And more importantly, if I could ever help anybody else not feel that way again, that's what I want to do.
And nowadays, and we always talk about this on the show, about how others should always help people regardless.
Yeah.
To commit yourself to helping others, having experienced what a lot of other people go through, you can talk to somebody having walked in their shoes.
You can. At a young age, I made the decision to make every single possible mistake that I could on purpose,
whether it was for everybody else,
making bad drug decisions or meeting up with the wrong friendship groups. I wanted to make those horrible decisions. That way I had life experience on purpose. I didn't want to be a life coach with no life experience. Right. And I underestimated how rough the world was out there.
You went a little too deep under the covers.
I went deep. I was in over my head. I was drowning. It kicked my ass. But I'm back. I'm doing great right now.
Absolutely.
I'm still going to make mistakes, but you know what? It's one step at a time.
Well, I think anybody who fools themselves into thinking you're never going to make mistakes, you're fooling yourself.
Absolutely.
How can people reach out to you?
I am if you on Instagram, it's Your Gothic Guru. That's the main one that I'm operating out of right now. I do have a Twitter, Your Gothic Guru as well. That's the best option for me right now.
And for you folks who like haunted stuff, you'll also find them where?
At Zach Bagans' The Haunted Museum. I'm a lead performer at Zach Bagans' The Haunted Museum. I've been there for 3 years. So I'm a ghost hunting life coach and undead life coach. I don't know how that works out. But that's what we're dealing with.
Have you ever cured anybody of death? I want to know.
Not yet. Never say never. Never say never.
Exactly.
At least you can tell them whatever you want and don't worry about them writing reviews or anything.
Exactly. I haven't got a bad Yelp review from the dead yet.
That's right. So
it's called Ghostbusters. It's fine.
That's right. Exactly. Well, good stuff. Definitely should reach out to James. He's also Facebook. As well. And if you forget all of that, of course, go back and watch either on Roku, any of the playbacks. But worst case scenario, you can message us through Thoughts Count Anywhere, and we'll be happy to have James get in touch with you as well. If you need it, he's there for sure. All right, let's get back to it. We have about, yes, I'm sorry.
There's a lot of crazy people in the world. All right. But I got a favorite saying. I sit between two of them every week. But I got a favorite saying.
What's that?
One day at a time.
I like it. Thank you.
It's all we can do. One foot in front of the other most of the time, right? All right, let's get back to some news and notes. Alexa Bliss is taking time off from WWE after just more or less returning.
Yeah, what's up with that?
It's your girlfriend.
I don't know. She walked into the place and was like, all right, I'm done. Going back.
So now what does this do with the storyline with Uncle Howdy and Bray and all that other crap now?
I don't know. Maybe it's like a WrestleMania thing. I'm hoping where if they say she's going to get involved with Bray Wyatt, maybe they're going to have her surprise come out at WrestleMania. Sorry, it's not Fabulous Moolah. Nobody cares about her.
She's going to take a vacation.
That's probably going to run around with Ryan Cabrera on tour.
That's what my sources
Well, I was just going to say, they got married within the last year. Maybe they're going to try to start having a family or something. I mean, who knows? I mean, to me, I think the return to now just hasn't been what I think it should have been.
Sometimes though, and seriously, we forget that they're human beings
Yeah.
and that they need to take a break. And when this type of stuff comes out, we need to step back and say, you know what? Go take a break. Take 2 or 3 months off. Relax. Recharge your batteries. Come back better than ever.
So,
and hopefully that's what this.
Hopefully it's just to take a breather for sure. So let's just fast forward, and I'll leave this kind of open-ended as a question. How do you then bring her back again? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how do you bring her back? Do you keep her involved in that storyline with Bray and whatever it is? That's going to be an interesting way that creative has to think about to bring her back.
Well, as somebody said, Charlotte Flair can come back in one night. Well, why can't Alexa Bliss come back in one night? And I'll leave it at that.
And immediately wins the Raw Women's title.
So there you are.
Immediately.
SummerSlam 23 will be headlined by Matt and Chief in the middle of the ring at Ford Field. SummerSlam 2023 later this year has been announced will be at Ford Field in Detroit, which will be the first WWE event held there since WrestleMania 23.
Motor
so
City.
Long time in coming. Good for them.
You know what was a good good show there?
Which one?
WrestleMania 3.
That's right. That's where that was the largest.
When Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant.
That's right.
Going back in history, fans. See, that's the good stuff that doesn't get talked about.
Hearing all the news in Detroit, I wonder where everyone's going to stay. Like, what's the nearest big city to Detroit? Because no one's going to stay there.
Well, I'm sure they have better parking next to the stadium regardless than we have out here for a 70,000-seat arena.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, NXT wrestlers are now allowed to work approved indie shows. So some of the fourth wall, Forbidden Doors opening up maybe through NXT to work some indie shows.
I wonder if that's Shawn Michaels' doings.
Could be, and he's been
him and Triple H,
and he's been having a lot more FaceTime on TV with Waller down there. So there's also some talk that maybe Shawn may be donning some boots or something somehow in the ring with some more television time. But
right now, I heard it's Booker T's indie promotion. They're allowed to work Reality of Wrestling.
Okay,
but they said if that goes well, they might extend it out more.
Gotcha.
And they want to extend it to companies that are good with AEW just to throw that dagger in there.
Well, there are enough WWE current stars and past stars, those not active in the ring that have their own school. So if they were to want to keep the indie engagements within house, so to speak, there's plenty of WWE. I mean, Seth Rollins has a school.
Cody has a school.
Cody has a school. So there's plenty of current rosters roster members that have their own
school. And if they want the one that's good with AEW people, the Nightmare Factory is the one.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Big turn. Toxic Attraction finally broke up this past week. Matt, why don't you talk about that?
They were on the Bailey's little talk show thing. They did like the Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty thing, basically.
With one exception. The door didn't open.
Yeah, Gigi's face is like messed up after that thing. I was like,
you better believe it.
At least the glass broke. Or the plexiglass.
That was pretty rough. She's probably going to need like a week or two to recover from that. But
jeez.
It'll turn into a pretty good feud because without Mandy, they had to go with some different direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was on Ding Dong Hello.
Right.
That was the show.
Ding Dong Ditch. Ronda Rousey returned last night. Are we excited?
Oh, yeah.
You like
I'm
Ronda.
very excited.
What do you like about Ronda?
I like everything about Ronda. I'm just going to go ahead and say it like that. Ronda Rousey, I like, she's fantastic. She's between being an actual true athlete, UFC champion and everything like that. She brings legitimacy to the actual ring. She's doing better on her promos too. I'm all about that.
Getting better. Okay. Yeah. I think it's a long time coming that we're seeing Ronda and Shayna come together as a team of sorts.
That's a great tag team.
Right? I mean, it's been a long time that we've all talked about why are they not together at some point, right?
Yeah.
Poor Io Sky and Dakota Kai.
Right. You know,
have to deal with those two at WrestleMania.
Right. I really liked you the whole show, but I got to tell you, Ronda Rousey cannot do a promo. Period.
I was waiting for the Natalia's been there forever and they attacked her.
She was there to help out.
But
doesn't make any
difference.
Win,
though, didn't she win the
show? She did.
And then she got her crap beaten out of her last night with Ronda coming back.
She's going to go up to Winnipeg or wherever, Ontario or whatever. One of those.
Montreal.
Okay. I knew it was one
up there.
The Montreal Alouettes.
Oh my gosh.
No, but anyway. That's the only thing that's holding Ronda really back. She cannot do a promo. Okay. At least Shayna can talk on the mic. All right.
That's a good point.
She's got to work. They both have to work at it.
That's debatable.
She's her own Paul Heyman to take her to the next level.
Well, wait a minute. How many years has Ronda been in WWE now?
34, so like 4 or 5.
A couple, right?
I would say 5 at best.
I would think. I mean, you guys taught me. I can at least talk on the mic now myself.
That's debatable.
Yeah. I mean, I at least keep my false teeth in now.
Oh my goodness!
She was about as good on the mic as Roman was at the same time. 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
Okay.
That's very good.
All right. I'll
Does it get back in your good graces?
No,
not yet. All right.
He went from sucker and succotash to, oh my God, what is he about to say?
Reports say Cody Rhodes, Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn are the top merch sellers currently in WWE. No surprise in any of the names there. Right? No surprise in those names for merchandise. Currently, the chamber match is set. U.S. title, Austin Theory versus Rollins, Reed, Priest, Gargano, Montez Ford. The women's match so far, winner will get a shot at Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. Asuka versus Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya, Nikki Cross, and Carmella. And we'll get to our selections, so obviously as we get. What is the date for that? Is it that same
1 week
weekend?
from today?
So it's next Saturday. So next Saturday we'll talk about making our predictions. Yes,
We
sir.
have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, the floor recognizes.
I like to shout out the new color commentator on
NXT level of.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr.
I know that
Blake-
'cause I wrote it.
Mr. Blake Chadwick.
Okay.
For us that know Blake and have had the honor of seeing him out here in the ring announcing, kudos to him.
All right.
I'm glad he deserves it.
Got an opportunity.
Now you need to contact him, okay, and find out so you can get started. And I'll leave it at that. And if you want his number, I'll give it to you.
Gotcha.
To this phone?
Yes.
No, to this phone.
Okay.
He's got a way bigger phone, and he actually see the numbers to it.
Seriously though, I mean, we saw Blake ROH out here. We seen him. The one that even held the belt. That
Ring Warriors.
Ring Warriors. A couple other ones down in Florida, and we got to go.
Yep. I just heard a magical beep-beeps. I know you need to take off.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to say goodbye and thank you for
Thank you
coming
so
in.
much
We'll
for
have you
having
come
me,
back
guys.
in. Appreciate you. James
Bring it in.
Ward,
You
you
forgive
got
me?
the guru.
Thanks, brother.
And
Thanks a lot, guys.
say hi to you can say hi to Brian Myers. He's on. We haven't brought him up yet, but he sees us there. So all right. Normally we would take a break.
Love you, brother.
At the top of the hour. So you
Thanks,
can
guys.
thank you, bud, for coming in. We'll chat. Thank you so much. But we know this gentleman is busy, and I don't want to make sure. I want to take every time that we
Is he
can.
here?
He is. I see
Hey,
him
look
in the
at him
lower
right there.
left-hand corner.
Hey.
He's getting ready. Well, don't shout at him yet. He's not live yet. John has to bring him in. So
was
let me
just
do my
waiting.
introduction. So he is courtesy of Impact Wrestling. He will be here the weekend of the 24th, participating in a pretty big four-way match.
The soon-to-be #1 contender for
Yes.
the world title.
There you go. I am Aaron. That is Chief. That is Matt. Mr. Brian Myers. Thank you for joining us, sir.
What's up, boys? Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Is that Kiss Demon on the wall behind you there in the upper corner? In
Come
that
on,
board?
that's
Danhausen.
Danhausen.
Oh, listen. The little screen I'm looking at is about 2 inches big, so I apologize.
Hey, Brian, his glasses are so thick he can't see.
That's right. They're Coke bottles. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Obviously, it looks like you're at home, perhaps, which is a rare occurrence for many wrestlers nowadays.
Yeah, you're correct. But as soon as we're done talking here, I got to drive to New Jersey to wrestle Powerhouse Hobbs tonight in Rahway. So.
In Rahway. That's one town over from where I grew up.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Right on,
Rahway Rec Center tonight for WrestlePro.
Oh my goodness, I got goosebumps.
That's what's his name's promotion. Shoot.
Well, you'll come up with it. I don't want dead air. So, Brian, come up with it, Chief. So, coming up at No Surrender, let's talk about the big fatal four-way match that you have for the #1 contendership. Let's talk about that. You got to be pretty jacked about that.
Yeah, man. It's been a while. I feel like I'm very deserving of being the #1 contender. It's not going to be easy. A fatal four-way, very unpredictable, but I'm the most professional wrestler, and that's just not a nickname. That's a way of life. So I'm pretty prepared, and Impact has made Sam's Town and Vegas kind of like a new home, if you will. So I'll be very, very comfortable in these chaotic surroundings.
Nothing more chaotic than Vegas. Matt, take it away for a question.
What are your thoughts about Santina Marella coming into the company?
I think it's great. I think it brings more eyes to Impact. You know, a recognizable name, recognizable face, a proven entertainment commodity. So I'm all for it. I think it's very cool. Anything's better than Scott D'Amore in every other segment.
Oh, hell yeah.
Proven entertainment commodity was very well said. I like that very much. So, but yeah, it's a big opportunity for you. One thing we always like to know where everybody kind of gets their start. Who was your main trainer when you got into the business?
Yeah, so I was trained by ECW original Mikey Whipwreck. He's responsible for training me, myself, Matt Cardona, Trent Beretta, Tony Nese, Alex Reynolds, Johnny Silver. So he's done a great job over there. Jay Lethal, I believe, and the SATs even. So Mikey doesn't train guys anymore, but I was lucky enough to catch him in that brief window, and he was a fantastic trainer. And honestly, I think he instilled in me like the fundamentals of pro wrestling that have really kept me safe in almost 20 years now. So I'm forever appreciative for that.
So the 2300 arena, is that correct, sir?
No, I'm from Long Island. No, the 2300 arena is in Philly.
Long Island.
Long Island.
What part?
I grew up in Glen Cove.
Oh yeah, I know where you're at.
It's good. Now, do I ask a wrestling question?
Who's your favorite wrestler, right? Other than yourself?
Right now, Orange Cassidy, I think, is my favorite wrestler.
Oh, that's good.
Nice. If there's any fans out there that are like iffy on buying tickets to No Surrender and the TV tapings, why should somebody go to Impact at Sam's Town?
Yeah, that's a great question. In my time in Impact, which we're coming up on almost 3 years, which is hard to believe that I've been part of Impact for 3 years. It's been awesome. They've, given me a hell of a lot of opportunity to kind of spread my wings and do what I want to do and be me. And that, I'm always grateful for. But I think the fans sometimes Impact gets, especially the modern day Impact, which the roster is phenomenal. It's stacked with the, incredible talents. I think Impact pays for the sins of the past that none of us have anything to do with. And I think people just kind of, disregard it in that way without giving it a real chance. So anytime I get a chance to talk about it, I tell people, if you're a real wrestling fan, go out of your way to watch Impact Wrestling, because there's literally something for everybody. Like, no matter what style of pro wrestling you're into the most, we have it all. Impact. It's a pretty stacked roster with a lot of, like I said, like a little bit of everything. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we pay for those sins that we have nothing to do with. But we're all working our asses off.
I got one for you. Are you going to be signing at Sam's Town when you're in town at the end of the month?
I believe I'm signing twice, actually, because Impact Wrestling, we're going to be at the Sports Card Toys and Collectibles show that's going on all weekend in Sam's Town. And then also Impact does meet and greets outside the show. So if you don't want to go to the Sports Card and Collectibles and meet, several talents, you can catch us before and after the shows. There's always meet and greets, and Impact puts out the full schedules for that as well. Multiple talents will be involved.
Right on. And of course, the card show is put on by Power Play Sports Collectibles in conjunction with Impact. I want to thank everybody for that. That's in the major ballroom where that'll all be at. We will be there doing this show there on the road as well. Thoughts Count Anywhere will be down there. So hopefully we'll have a chance to run into you very quickly to say hello again and meet in person. Matt, next question.
With the Major Wrestling Figure podcast and everything, I've been a Major Mark since day one. Love you guys.
Nice. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
With like going to all like these Comic-Cons and stuff, what's like the one thing you're out there looking for, you hope to see at a table to be like, oh my God, I finally found it?
See, the problem with that is Matt and I are such spoiled brats and we buy everything we want. It's really kind of hard to just, go, oh, wow, look at this, because we have it all. So it has to be a really rare or spectacular item to really get me going where I'm like, oh, wow. So I'm more looking for the unpredictability, I guess. You know what I mean? Because if it's at Target, I got it. It's not a problem. It's not like
So you do collect wrestling memorabilia.
Yes.
Everything.
Well, look what he's got on the wall behind him. Doesn't that answer just a little bit? I know that's not even probably a Pinhead's amount of memorabilia.
You didn't even know it was.
Well, but from here it looks like Kiss. What I can't see. Give me your glasses. You see it? Give me your glasses.
How we say Busted Opens like our 1 millionth favorite wrestling podcast. The Major Wrestling Figure podcast is my solid number 2.
There you go.
Nice. What's one then?
Us.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of biased.
Come on. We have to be biased. All right. Do you have any other questions? I know since Brian has to hit the road.
I have one comment.
Sure.
I can't wait for you to win the championship.
I agree. Yes, it's about damn time.
There you go.
Yeah, I've been working my ass off in Impact for almost 3 years. It's time.
Yeah,
in the future.
Yep.
Matt, final question there, and our traditional one.
Yeah, pretty much ask the same question to everybody at the end. What's your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
So there's this is twofold. Like personally, or like who made the most money? What are we talking about? Because there's a lot of ways to look at
Since
it.
for Impact and No Surrender, what's your impact?
Oh,
Impact.
Mount
Okay.
Rushmore.
Well, okay.
Like,
Kurt Angle, AJ Styles.
Okay.
Abyss.
Ooh.
Man, this is tough.
And Brian freaking Myers.
Yeah, you know what? By the time I'm done, the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers. How about that?
There you go.
I'll be there. That's fine. Yeah.
Exactly right. Again, it's Friday, February 24th. Tickets are available. Samstown website. That is the No Surrender pay-per-view, Friday the 24th. TV taping Saturday and Sunday. And, of course, Brian will be involved in the number one contender four-way fatal match. Brian, thank you for taking a few minutes with us. I want to let you go because you got to hit the road. And safe trip. And we look forward to seeing you in Vegas in a couple of weeks.
All right. Hell yeah. I'll be there, baby.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The most professional wrestler, Mr. Brian Myers, joins us. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
All right. With that, we're going to step aside and take our break as we formally get into our second hour. Stick with us. We got a lot more to talk about. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
Anxiety, depression, PTSD, ADHD, pain, inflammation, dealing with mental or physical health issues, or know someone who is? Relax, refresh, recover, revive. Natural health alternatives using hemp-derived CBD and other cannabinoids found in hemp are increasingly becoming more effective in managing various symptoms that affect your body, state of mind, and daily life. Planet Harvest Health's mission is to help those looking for natural, new, and better solutions for a healthier way of life, specializing in small batch, handcrafted alternatives, providing higher quality and a cost-effective product. Go to planetharvesthealth.com for more information and education on how we can help you.
What else is new? Hey, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. Hour number 2 officially underway. Once again, thank you to Brian Myers for taking time this morning, and of course the folks over at Impact and Scott Hosey for helping us make that happen as we lead into the No Surrender pay-per-view in a couple of weeks. That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah, that's really cool. Brian did really put like a good point out there. They do pay for like the sins of like old. If you watch Impact and you're a wrestling fan, that's a really good show.
Yeah, it has come a long way, and sometimes we forget about how hard it is at times to move on from history. We forget about that. And so far, the new, as he said, the last 3 years he's been there. Yes, I think it has come leaps and bounds from leaving all that stuff behind to really being a huge powerhouse in the industry.
Unfortunately, I don't get to see the live broadcast, but I make sure I go to YouTube.
Sure.
And I watch it on YouTube. And I'm going to tell you what, they are putting a great product out on the market. And it needs to go, in my opinion, I hope the company eventually goes to a better
network.
It's seen more exposure, and they can turn into like the number 2, 3 biggest wrestling company in this world.
Yep. I definitely think they're giving, in my opinion, they're giving AEW a good run for their money in the way they're putting their shows on.
Right.
I'm excited for Samstown. I really am. I'm excited for
They always put on a good weekend of events. Like usually after like 2 or 3 days of wrestling, I'm like wrestlinged out. But
because not only we have all the different companies that come in for the big shows.
Yes.
And you got wrestling Wahoo, out the Wahoo, the Wazoo for all the companies that are here.
Yeah, plus they announced that thing with New Japan, and I really hope like some big New Japan person shows up during the TV tapings to promote that thing, which they did announce one. But if like Will Ospreay or somebody shows up and you're not at Sam's Town, you're doing this wrestling thing all wrong.
Didn't I just see that Jay White lost a match? It was a loser leave Japan match, and Jay White lost it. So he's heading back to the States. I wonder if Jay could be coming in.
Might.
Who knows? Speculation, as they call it, right? Speculation.
I'd like to see Jay wrestle again.
Rumor has it he knows a couple people in every organization, so he's got a foot in the door everywhere.
I was going to say, if you've been around long enough, you do know enough people in different places. For sure, he could probably, I don't say write his own check, but could probably knock on a few doors. Pretty close, yeah. He can certainly write his own check.
There's members of the Bullet Club everywhere.
Exactly. Speaking of the Bullet Club, I saw an article that Gallows and Anderson have not been seen on TV because as of right now, they have nothing for them. Yeah. And from what I read, it's written in their contract that if they have nothing for them, they don't have to report to the arenas until there is something, which I thought was interesting. I just read that last night.
That's a good way to write a contract.
Absolutely. You've been around as long as they have. Why not have your own ability to do that?
I think it's called veterans.
Yeah, I've been there, done that, right? When you have it and you traveled and you know where your time is valuable, why not? Why not have something like that?
It's kind of crazy now that AJ's hurt. They'd have nothing for them, but they have a whole tag division. So
that is true on the other side. Are they trying to say that they maybe had plans better for the three of them as the Bullet Club against Judgment Day, and they want to hold that till AJ's healthy again?
Probably.
I wonder how long AJ's going to be out.
A couple more weeks.
Yeah.
He broke his ankles.
Yeah, it was at least 6 weeks from what I heard initially. Okay. But yeah, breaks you got to be careful with.
Yes.
For sure. Let's see. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's
just responding to a message that I got. So
is it a good message?
It was a question. Let's just put it at that. The Guns defeated the Acclaim to win the AEW Tag Team Championship. I will not say what is next to that there on the run sheet. But apparently, some heel maneuver at the end to actually win the belts.
I thought the only way that the Guns were going to win it is if Billy Gunn actually turned on the Acclaim.
Okay.
So when they actually won it, I was so stunned that I was all like, what just happened? Did the referee accidentally count 3 or something? But I guess since the Acclaimed already beat everybody, it makes sense for them to go chasing the tag titles now. But really, the Guns?
They
have FTR in the company.
The question I have, and I posted to Aaron, and I'll post it to you. Whatever happened to return matches? You lose the championship, and I'm going to say it this way. Back in the day, you used to get a return match. It was supposedly in the contract.
Well, according to a guy named Chief, you have to work your way back up. So you don't get a return match.
No.
You have to be there for a certain amount of time, and then you have to work your way all the way up
to
get a title match.
That's a different scenario.
I think the rematch thing is done in the 90 or like you have to defend your title in 30 days. That's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Those are just like
unless you're injured. Unless you're injured, right? If it's a severe injury, they don't give it 30 days to see if you heal in time.
Then you give the belt up.
Right. Then you give it up.
I'm just saying, and I agree with you. When I saw that match of the Acclaim and the Guns, and the Guns won that match, I that was the first thing I said. Your comment there.
That's exactly what I said. That's why I put it in there. I was like,
but
what the fudge?
Shut the front door.
But then my next thought was, when's the rematch?
It's got to be at the pay-per-view.
That's the only thing that makes sense,
Bad boys.
Yes.
What you gonna do?
We have an incoming call.
It's always
that's
the host.
Important.
Should I lock the door?
Can we move real quickly?
Yeah.
Change the address.
That was Matt's phone. It wasn't mine. That was Matt's. Goodbye.
Anyway, listen, they had to do so. I think the storyline led to finally something happening that way with the Guns, with the split from the dad and everything else. But it seemed like the reaction was very split on them actually getting the titles from what it appeared.
It was interesting that Dad came into the ring, all right, and took the belt away, and then left out of the ring for the match to go on. And then, I forget which gun it was, went out and grabbed the belt and hit him with it.
I think it was Colton.
And count to 3. Okay. Not a bad scenario, but I agree with you, WTF.
It was definitely like the heel way to win, and it made sense for him to like cheat to win because nobody really thought it was going to happen. So it's kind of like Jinder Mahal winning the WWE title. Nobody saw that coming.
But you know what? I'm okay with the Guns aren't a bad tag team. They can wrestle. They've been trained. Yeah. All right, they can go. So we'll have to see. Does the Acclaim get a rematch?
Oh, they will definitely. They're going to keep it going because it's
do the Bucks come into the tag team picture, or I'm sorry, I don't know the other team that the 6-man the other night was on the opposite side. The brothers, I think they
Lucha Brothers.
No, I forget their name, and I'm sorry, folks. But I would like to see them come into the tag team picture also. Butcher and Blade could come into the tag team picture. So there are a lot of tag teams in AEW. Maybe they're going to get away from the Acclaim and get away from the Bucks and actually make the tag team relevant in AEW.
You know, as you're tossing names out there as potential tag teams, it brings something to mind, because we say the same thing about WWE and their tag teams. There's just not enough tag teams, but yet there are plenty of tag teams out there. WWE can dip down into NXT for teams. And I guess really the question begs to be asked, why are both of these major organizations not really focusing on the men's tag team divisions? They have the players.
Yeah.
They have the time in all the different shows to build tag teams. Put them on the road and test them. Isn't that what road shows are supposed to be about? Kind of testing feuds, testing partnerships and all of that. I mean, they're there. Why aren't they being utilized?
I'm going to tell you what.
We know Vince doesn't like tag teams, but that's another.
Tag teams, if it's a good tag team, they can put butts in the seats.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the Wild Samoans,
I wonder how old this is going to go.
They could put butts in the seats. Okay.
Sure.
Demolition for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Not the headlining Hall of Fame, but in the Hall of Fame.
WWE, you need to put them in because the Chiefs said so, and they freaking deserve it. One of the best tag teams that's come down the pike.
Let's shift gears to one who is perceived to be the biggest and baddest heel in wrestling history right now, or today at least, MJF. Thoughts on his promo the other night?
That was wild. He was trying to insinuate it was Liv Morgan of all people, because I guess they know each other from like a young age. But I guess 80% of that promo was true. He was actually in like a car accident with like his football teammates, not a girl giving him stuff. But that guy is amazing on the mic. Oh my God. Every time his music hits, I'm like, so usually I'll like watch wrestling and I'm doing something on my iPad, like doing something. But I hear that music, I'm like, all right, put this down, shut this off. What's about to happen?
He's one of the best on the mic. I mean, now we know he's going to do that 60-minute Iron Man against Bryan Danielson after what happened when he finally won that last gauntlet match, which was a hell of a match all unto itself. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, MJF is probably, who would you say is a better heel right now, MJF or Roman Reigns?
MJF.
I'm putting the question out there. Don't look squirrely at me.
It ain't even a contest.
Well, I'm asking.
MJF.
Okay. I can ask the question.
MJF makes everything like personal. I think that's why he hits like that one chord that you're just like, I cannot stand this guy.
Right.
Plus, even like outside of the shows, he plays all this off. Like, as much as he's an asshole on the screen, he's just as much of an asshole off the screen.
He believes in the old tradition of kayfabe.
Wow.
You know,
he's like the only one.
I got a hot tidbit of information.
Okay.
I'm not going to share on it.
Do you know who was one of the trainers for MJF?
Brian Myers.
You are correct.
Wow.
Ding, ding, ding.
Did not know that.
Yep.
Did not know that.
Let's see.
All right.
Because you looked at the picture. I know you.
No, he trained him at Brian Myers has a wrestling school.
Hence another. All right. While they look that up, folks, we're going to step aside for our break of the second hour. We may extend this maybe another spot there, Mr. Producer. Okay.
Creative Pro Wrestling.
All right. You are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We got more to do right after this.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Thoughts Count Anywhere. Y'all watching it. These are my new tag team partners, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, aka Marty the Mob, and you're watching the Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Enjoy.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Stephen Fatu. I'm here with my man, Big Chief. I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere. This is Impact Wrestling's Dash and Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast.
Hi, I'm Sean Navarre. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is the essential character EC3 on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere. The podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition.
Hey, we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning, Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Tessa Blanchard and Ozzy, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Sure, never.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
I wanted to.
By the way, thank you to Brian Myers again and Ross and
Absolutely.
Scott and everybody for having him be available to us. So look, you know, he's out on Long Island. I know where Rahway is. It's the next town over for me. I lived there. Matter of fact, my wife grew up on a town on the other side. Her parents wouldn't let her cross the Rahway to come to my city, to my town, because we were like on the other side for them.
Oh, wow.
So it's not an easy drive for him to get out there. So we were just wanted to be courteous to his time. Yes, sir.
Danny Moff owned where
he's going?
Where he's going tonight.
Right on. All right. The Rahway Rec Center. It's one of the best places locally that you can have events at.
You better believe.
So,
anyway,
yes.
I got some more breaking news.
Breaking news. I wish we had a teletype, but we don't.
Saturday, more Saturdays autographs. We have Mr. Josh Alexander.
Yes.
Miss Deanna Peraza.
Yes.
Steve Macklin.
All right.
Brian Myers.
Sounds good.
Dirty Danko.
I like it.
Frankie Kazarian.
All right.
Santino Morello.
All right. Is he bringing the Cobra to sign too?
I hope so.
I'll take my teeth out so he can do
That was
it.
funny.
Oh.
That was funny.
So anyway, they're going to be the guests Saturday between, I believe, 10 and 2. They're going to be signing.
Okay.
Shifting in, shifting out. And
some of them hopefully will appear on TCH as we
we
heard earlier.
And that will be the Sports Card and Collectible Show at Sam's Town. Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 6.
Up in the ballroom, right?
Up in the ballroom. Mission's $5. We're going to be there Saturday from 9 to 11 doing our show. And then some gentleman named Aaron Phillips is going to be doing Aaron's Hour.
If you see him, stop him.
Right. And Mr. John, our engineer.
We're indoctrinating him to the world of wrestling that day.
He'll be out there directing things, and stop by my table and the chief will sign autographs for you.
I have a feeling John's going to see Deanna Purrazzo and instantly become a wrestling fan.
Hey, you know my wife.
Facts.
Where the hell was I? We were doing a show or something.
Okay.
And Liz went and I wanted Deanna's autograph, and so Liz went and got it for me.
Okay.
Well, the next night she was signing it Impact at out of Samstown.
Okay.
And of course, I went up and got another autograph from her. And I told her the story. And she said, funny. She said, well, Chief, your ass should have been there so you got the signature, not have to send your wife. And I thought, damn, I can't win for nothing.
Oh, my goodness.
True story. So anyway.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Good. Listen, the bottom line is with wrestling today, there are tremendously good people that we see on TV or in the ring, whether on TV on a regular basis or not. It's how we treat them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are some, regardless of how we treat them as fans, I'm sure they don't want to give you the time of day. But the majority of them, if you treat them with respect their space as people, and not be, what's around them, then they will give you the same thing back, and we'll be able to talk kindly about great experiences, probably for 98% of the performers we see and enjoy watching. And I think that's the thing that we tend to forget about, that they are people too.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, they just got cooler jobs than we do.
Yes. That's a good point there. They certainly do.
You talk to them like they're regular people. They're like, if you go to a wrestler and you mention nothing about wrestling and you say something about something they like, you'll watch their lives lit up and they'll talk to you like forever.
And speaking about Impact for a second, we've got a couple wrestlers from here in Vegas that are on the Impact show.
Yeah.
Kenny King, Chris Bay. Now we got a third one, Jay Vidal.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And the nice thing is with Jay coming back as part of that card in a couple of weeks, that's a nice little perk for him to be part of Impact and for us to see him. Now, as you see here, there's a gentleman over my left shoulder. His name is David Orlov. And I've asked him to come down to the studio to take some nice candid shots of us at work and really nice professional shots, because only phone cameras only work so far. So I don't know.
So he's going to take pictures?
No. Oh, I wouldn't want to do that on my worst enemy.
So there's going to be no like crazy blue lighting on all of us? Like
there'll be let's just say there'll be proper lighting. Anyway, so that's what I've asked him to come down. So,
but anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. That we do. We do have local wrestlers, and as far as I know, all of them are wrestling at the Impact show at Samstown.
Absolutely, and that's
even
a great
there was like
thing.
a day I drove Cody Rhodes around all day when he was here for a signing.
Yeah,
we were talking about like comic books and stuff.
Sure.
I didn't even like really bring up wrestling, and he was going on, and it was fun.
Again, proving the point that they're people too.
Beings.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
All right, let's continue on with some other news regarding Impact and some of the headlines down there as well.
Impact.
That's on the backside over there, fellas.
I got my notes.
It was announced this past week. Dirty Dango has signed a 1-year contract with Impact. It's been a while since he'd been on available with a company in a while, so it's good to see him back in the fold.
Right.
And it'd be great to see him again on TV, and we'll see him in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. He showed up for like a couple TV tapings, and people were excited to see him, and then he disappeared for a little while. But I guess since he decided to sign, now he'll be like a full-time.
At least for a year.
At least for a year, he's going to be on the roster. So
exactly.
That's a good addition to the Impact roster.
For sure. And he brings a lot of experience.
Yeah.
And I don't think any organization is terrible when you can bring good experience to the roster.
True.
So, yes, sir.
Did you mention The Kazarian versus Khan match for No Surrender?
I did not as of yet. No, but you're welcome to.
I apologize.
No, that's okay. I haven't gone back over the rest of the card yet, but go ahead. Yeah.
See, Chief's prepared.
I like that. Thomas Burnett, if you're watching, this is what writing notes is all about, by the way.
I come in.
By the way, Thomas is not here because he is currently working his other job, cleaning up aisles of spilled frozen
If somebody
peas.
can throw frozen peas at Thomas and get pictures, we'll buy you a Thoughts Count Anywhere shirt.
There you go. Other news, Matt Cardona, we were just kind of talking about him a few minutes ago.
Right.
He has actually denied the rumor that he was trademarking the Zack Ryder name.
Well, he didn't deny the rumor. He got denied by the copyright people.
Oh, he was denied denied
it.
trademarking. I'm sorry, denied trademarking it. Why was he denied? Did it say?
I don't know. He didn't say, just because somebody said they were wrestling Zack Ryder this week, and he's like, no, you're wrestling the Deathmatch King Matt Cardona because I got denied of the name. Probably WWE, something with WWE.
Well, I was going to say, I'm wondering if there was still something there with WWE in the name.
Most likely.
I wonder, when you go to copyright, you got to go to Washington, don't you? DC?
Well, you don't go to Washington, but it is researched. Yes.
You send it in. So they're the ones that denied it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well,
and trademarking works the same way because I have trademarked the voice and the logo and all of that, and I hired an attorney to do it because they have to go through formal filings, they have to check records, they have to make sure that the name is not in use in the areas that you're registering it.
Yeah.
So
maybe I should do that for the chief.
it doesn't hurt to check it out. I don't know why anybody else would want the name other than the original himself, so it'd probably be available.
What do you think?
Chief J Strongbow.
I was just that's funny. His name popped into my head too.
Or Chief Billy White Cloud.
Chief Flip Phone.
Chief Flippy.
Chief
Flippy Shed.
Holy crud. Oh my goodness.
All right, where we go?
Impact Wrestling has exercised their 1-year option on Deanna Purrazzo. Good move.
That's definitely a good move. She's like one of the best female wrestlers on this planet. So having her on the roster is definitely a good thing.
So do you think they did that because of losing Chelsea Green in terms of just another name within the female wrestling division, that they decided to keep her and exercise the option?
It's definitely a good thing to have her on the roster, just like even on screen, but behind the scenes with all these up and coming women coming in. There's no better mentor out there.
You know who we haven't seen on Impact lately?
Who's that?
Sue Young.
She was pregnant. She just had a kid.
Is that what it is? Okay.
We'll see her in about a couple of months if she chooses to come back. Or like Becky took a year off to be a mother. You know,
well, I know
born.
she's going to be doing a meet and greet up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee in May.
Well, there you go.
With one of my friends, Jason Marples, who's has a wrestling organization over in Tennessee. So
well, that's good. So
yeah.
she's going to be getting back into it publicly, at least through signing.
It's kind of funny. Like a year ago, we were at Subway, and I was talking to Rich Swann, and he's like, "Yeah, freaking, my wife has a bunch of pregnant cravings," and he was like, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to say anything." I was like, "Say anything about what?" And he was like,
exactly.
I love you.
Well, guess what? It's out of the bag now.
But that's
and it's out of her stomach too.
That's right, of course, of course.
But you know, that's the way we are. When we find things out like that, we don't say it. You know, we keep that part. What's the word? Anonymity. Is that a good word?
We keep it to ourselves.
Thank you. I like.
There's like a big difference between like trying to scoop news and like go behind people's back to say stuff, and I try not to be that person.
That's pretty good. Man.
And you didn't say it with your teeth in.
5 syllables.
And you didn't lose the gums.
No, anonymity.
Anonymity.
That's it.
Matt Cardona is going to challenge Tyrus tonight for the NWA Championship, which you talked about a few minutes ago, right? Enough said.
Go Matt Cardona.
At NWA, going up against Tyrus.
Down in Atlanta, I guess. Okay.
Who else is on that card? What else happened? Because I don't know.
I saw the poster.
I don't
just
have,
for that one.
I have nothing.
Okay, I was just saying I didn't know if it's eligible to pull up.
Did you see the?
Matt Cardona gets his 10 pounds of gold back. The best NWA champion of all time.
Which he never lost, right? Because he had to give it up.
He was
to
injured.
Right?
It's still his belt.
Absolutely. Are you scoping your copious notes to make sure we've covered everything there, Chief?
I'm checking it out.
In the meantime, let's talk about the fact that Kenta from New Japan will appear in Vegas at No Surrender.
That's going to be cool. That's what I was hoping. Like more New Japan people are gonna show up for like the pay-per-view and the tapings. They already announced a Will Ospreay match, so I'm really hoping Will Ospreay shows up to Impact in Vegas.
I'm trying to think after the Death Dolls match, Father James Mitchell came out and put a spell on
Taylor Wilde.
No,
Killer Kelly.
No, one of the what's her name? Shit.
Rosemary.
Yeah, Rosemary. But then two women come in and attacked them on the back.
Yeah.
And they're from NWA. One was Marty Bell, and the other one is her tag team partner. I can't think of her name. Allison Kay.
Yeah.
They came in, so maybe they're going to be there at Samstown also.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Ronald shares with us in the chat room the first time he met Jimmy Hart, they spent the night talking college football. So going back to when you're talking and you find that common bond. And he also shares with us that NWA is actually in Tampa, Florida tonight.
Tampa, okay. Hey, and you know what? I want to shout out to Mr. Ronald for sending us that video of the match down in from a couple of years ago with one of Aaron's favorites, Mr. Kevin Sullivan.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was good.
By the way, Ronald, I haven't heard back from you to find out if the person from the Savannah Bananas, the marketing person, ever replied back to you. I'd like to know that so we can follow up on that when they come out here in May.
Did you see where they're going to have yellow baseballs?
I did not.
Yeah, he sent me.
When they come out here?
Yeah, he shot me a picture. No, he shot me a picture, and the Savannah Bananas, everything on their stick, it's all yellow.
Right.
Rawlings.
Okay. They made special
yellow balls.
Well, it goes back to Charlie Finley back in the day.
Better
when
than
they did
blue
all.
balls.
I wouldn't know about that.
Charlie Finley did orange back in the day when he owned the Oakland A's back in the 70s. They tried an orange baseball for a year, and that went over like a Chinese lead balloon. But anyway,
I just
You're telling me you got shot down?
Did you?
I just thought I'd bring that out.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. He's trying to save me from my comment, by the way. Anyway,
I know.
I don't usually do stuff like that.
Why?
I don't know why.
Your comment gets shot down?
We got to go off script for a minute.
Okay. When are we ever on script?
Why do
we don't even have a script?
Why are they considering building the baseball stadium down by the Sahara? Isn't there enough traffic and congestion and all that good stuff down on the strip now that we can't get around? And
hi, Scott.
Stop and think about it.
I've been saying that for months. I thought we've actually talked about that here.
Look at what's going to go on now with the Golden Knights playing home. How that traffic's going to be all messed up down there.
So we're saying for a while they were going to turn down the Tropicana and put it there. So within a 3-block radius would be a Legion Stadium, a baseball stadium, and T-Mobile Arena. Could you imagine if there was 3 events at the same time?
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
Here's the thing.
You'd have to leave Wednesday to get to your game on Saturday.
And then what's the other place that's opening up here real soon? The round place?
The Sphere.
Yeah,
the MSG
that's
Sphere.
going to be opening.
Well, that's over on Covalt behind the convention center. But yes, but that's a 15,000 seat facility. But you're right. Listen, we've talked about it here. I've talked about it on other shows. The fact that they're even looking at that area is utterly ridiculous because I want to paint this picture. Okay.
Talk to me.
Yes, sir.
The reason they are doing that and putting it there is because they're going to do the same thing with the strip that they did with downtown Fremont Street. There will be no vehicular traffic on the strip. It will all be public transportation.
Well,
and the only way to get there so that you have to walk.
All right, for those who couldn't hear what John's comment was, and I don't know how clear he come across.
We should give him a handheld.
Well, he's got the other one back there. It's his whole board, for crying out loud. He should know what to do. But
He's
anyway,
control of the audio. So
his comment was the fact that they're going to turn the strip eventually into Fremont Street in terms of closing it all in and make it pedestrian. And maybe that is the case. I don't know.
Bullshit.
But here's the thing. Okay, so picture this. Most 7 o'clock games, evening games, start at 7:05 first pitch.
Yes.
Most people like to get to the stadium early. They tailgate. They like to get inside early, watch batting practice.
Yes.
So let's say the stadium opens up at 6 o'clock. Imagine, if you will, 5 p.m. rush hour traffic, people going up and down 15, trying to get off of Tropicana just to get home from work, on top of 30,000 to 35,000 people trying to get to that baseball stadium. My contention has been very much this. Move 5 to 10 minutes north of 15 into North Las Vegas, between the end of the strip as we know it, to where the freaking Speedway is. They know how to get 150,000 people out there for a freaking race for NASCAR. Oh, and by the way, something called EDC. Okay, we're used to doing this. One casino, I don't know, Station Casinos, for instance, who's used to building properties off the main strip. Okay, go out there, be the anchor casino, get your stores out there. Guess what? Build it and they will come. Why are we doing this to the strip? Because you know what? Tropicana, as they're calling it, this Tropicana exit off of 15 with what they're doing. Guess what? In my humble opinion, nobody else may or think this. I think they're doing it because they're going to eventually build it in that area around Tropicana by the Excalibur. The other problem is, where the frig are they going to put all this parking they need? They couldn't do it for a 65,000-seat football arena. They built a 2,500-seat parking garage. Where are we going to put enough parking and learn our lesson from Allegiant Stadium? I'm out. Don't get me started.
Unless
Aaron's rant.
Unless we said before, or at least I have, they put overhead rail.
We should have had that for years
to
move people around town.
No, I totally
but
agree.
they already have a part of it, though. They have the monorail on the backside. All they have to do is extend what's there.
See what I was told.
Elon must have funded
What I was told was that North Fifth, from up where I live,
right,
all the way down, was going to be super. Okay, it's not happening.
When I sold timeshare, they were supposed to extend the monorail down to the airport. It wasn't supposed to end where it does. So it's supposed to. And then you have the Musk thing underground.
Yeah.
You know what? We need better ways to move our people that live here. And so a rail system,
safer too.
Well, think about what they have in Washington, D.C. They have the rail that moves commuters, that moves people who live there. Why aren't we doing the same thing? It takes 45 minutes to get from my house up near Summerlin down to the other side of town in Deep Henderson. Why should it have to take that long, going around 15 to go 20 miles? It's crazy because of the traffic.
All they've got to do is go over towards Yankee Stadium and see the rail over that goes right into Yankee Stadium. They can go up, they can study it, they can build it.
Well, like Scott says, Scott Hosey's in the chat room, and it's a great point too. Taxi cabs run this town. They are never going to do that. You also, and Norberto, by the way, our friend Norberto Rivera will be stopping by the booth for Impact Weekend. It's his birthday weekend. So make sure you stop by and see us as well as we do our TCA show from there as well.
As I've said before, and it's all about the money.
Of course.
They
want to keep people on the strip. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Legion Stadium ain't on the strip.
Nope.
Industrial Boulevard, which is the original name, ain't on the strip. Decatur, whatever that is, ain't the strip, folks.
Dean Martin.
God,
it is crazy. When we went to the 49er Raider game, everyone pretty much parks at like Mandalay Bay, Luxor, Excalibur area, and you got to walk over like that big bridge, and it's just a sea of people.
Yeah.
Well, SummerSlam 2 summers ago when they first opened the place, right? People were stopping a mile out because they couldn't get there.
Yeah.
We got real smart. We Garth got us a party bus, so we literally went past every ounce of traffic, and they dropped us off right at the front door.
Well, there you go.
If you're going to go to Allegiant Stadium, you get a party bus.
That's right. For anything.
Split it between friends. It's cheap, and you don't go through any traffic.
But I heard waiting for the ride back though Garth shared was a nightmare afterwards. Getting the limo back there was a miscommunication. But whatever. I digress because why? I choose to. Anyway, you know what time it is?
Happy birthday.
It is time to celebrate some people's birthdays. That's right. If you're celebrating, if you're celebrating birthday today, February 11th through next Friday, you are celebrating your birthday with these people within the world of wrestling. And then some today, the 11th, Ken Shamrock and Hernandez. Tomorrow, Super Bowl Sunday, the 12th, One Man Gang and Crush. 13th, the innovator of violence, Mr. Tommy Dreamer, and my niece Gabi, by the way, it's her birthday as well.
Happy birthday, Gabi.
February 14th, Viscera / Mabel, however you want to remember him, King Mabel. I actually met him, and man, he was a big dude. February 15th, Rick Swan, Travis Banks, Hugo Savinovich, Jenna Maraska, and Mickey Keegan. Wow, that's a long list on the 15th. I wonder what happened back then 9 months prior. And on the aforementioned, right, February 16th, Gangrel. And on February 17th, Jimmy Jacobs and Ricardo Rodriguez. Happy birthday to all of you out there celebrating with these people. Please be safe as we want to make sure you are back watching us next week. And by the way, please, please, please go to the Thoughts Count Anywhere Facebook page. Jot down somebody's birthday, jot down an anniversary, a shout out, whatever you want. We'll pick it up and be more than happy to do that during this segment. Give a shout out on your behalf. Like Vimeo, we should charge for that. Like Vimeo. You want a shout out? Send us $1.50 and we'll get you a shout out. But anyways, happy birthday for all those folks.
What's Vimeo?
It's a video service where a lot of wrestlers do it, where if you want to pay like $50, your favorite Sergeant Slaughter can record a happy birthday to somebody.
You can't get it on a flip phone.
No, you can't get it on a flip phone. This is Sergeant Slaughter, you maggot, happy birthday, something like that.
Someone struck a chord.
Well, only because of what he and John were talking about, and it's the first name that popped into my head. So, anyway.
You're lucky you're actually sitting in that chair right now.
Why? Is there a kendo stick under the table I need to worry about?
I got a fucking twist.
Before you'd even cock it, I'd be out of your way. All right.
Don't touch me.
Anything from the world of wrestling that you want to talk about that I haven't brought up or that we skipped on the run sheet before we go?
Where are we going?
To pop culture. Because tomorrow there's some football game or something, which I'm sure Ronald will be taking our selections on and jotting them down.
Did we miss anything?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Did we skip anything?
Tony Khan said the video game for AEW is coming out next month.
Finally?
It's been coming. They said it's been coming out for like a year, and it's magically going to come out the same month the WWE game comes out.
There you go.
But if you're into games, the AEW game said they're going to do something kind of cool like Tekken, where like if a wrestler changes their gimmick or a new wrestler comes in, they have the ability to like put more people in the game later on.
Really?
Like WWE has like DLC where they announce like 5 different packs, and that's literally all that's coming out. So if like somebody debuts or somebody does like a big thing, you have to wait till next year to get them in the game.
Get in the update.
But with the AEW game, they're gonna have it so like that game will be out for like a couple years, and
nice.
They can add like FTR into the game or whoever debuts soon. And
right on.
So they do. So WWE does it that way so that they got you hooked.
Yeah.
So you keep buying it.
Any ideas to what the price will be for the AEW game? Has that been announced?
It's like $60, $70.
Is that what it is? I still remember Pong. That's all I care
Ron
about.
says he's got pen and pencil for the prediction.
Oh, he's ready to write down our picks for Super Bowl. I'm telling you, Tom's going to have a hard time getting his job back here with Ronald, the way he's on it for us. And
My vote's already for Ronald.
Ronald, I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles.
We haven't even gotten there yet.
Oh, well, I wanted to make sure my vote was counted.
Breaking news from the NBA. Some guy named LeBron James is going to be pretty good these days. I heard he's getting better every year. You think so? He's got a future in basketball?
It was nice to see Lou Alcindor come out on the court.
For those who don't know, that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He beats the all-time scoring record, 38,500 and something points.
Yeah.
They project he's going to probably go well over 40,000 by the time he retires. And this could be a record, literally, that may never be broken.
He
did good for himself.
He deserves, Hey, Kareem come out on the court, presented him the ball.
Yes, he did right. And they're not the best of friends, according to reports.
Oh, no.
Norberto says that Scott's taking the Chiefs. Norberto says Chief isn't picking the Chiefs. Hey, you know what? That's a great point.
No.
I'm boycotting the rest of the show.
Philadelphia is closer to stupid New Jersey.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Don't call my home state.
Philadelphia kicked San Francisco's ass, too.
Ronald says, Matt,
Check.
have you seen the roster for WW2K23?
I've seen part of it, but I don't think they've released the whole thing yet. As far as I've seen. If they have, let me know.
I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it.
With him winning, with him now getting the scoring, points record and all that.
Yes, sir.
This debate will go on for all eternity.
Talk to me.
Michael Jordan or LeBron James as the quote-unquote GOAT.
It has to be.
No,
all due respect to Michael.
Yeah.
In Mike's era, he, in my opinion, built the Chicago Bulls. Okay. They went on to win championship after championship. Him and Scottie Pippen.
Right.
And
Rodman and Thomas and all
the greatest NBA coach of all time, Phil Jackson. However, you got to say LeBron's the greatest of all time because he's broken a record that was held for how many years? I don't even know.
Since 85.
85. So
the only argument that people are making against him being the GOAT is the number of titles he actually has. Because he's gotten to the finals, 10 times, I believe it is, or something like that. And he's gotten 4 of the 10 or 3 of the 10, something like that, where Michael has more than that. And so that's the only argument people have to go back and forth.
You're only as good as the team. Okay. And as somebody always said to me, there's no I in team. Okay. So, if
like Kobe Bryant says, there's an M&E in a minute, motherfucker.
if you're saying
Rest in peace, Kobe.
It has to do with championships and not personal accomplishments, Michael, there's no argument.
Can anybody do you think anybody at any time could break the scoring record after LeBron? There's only one name that I'm hearing that's coming up because of how young he was when he got into the league, like LeBron, and that's the guy out of Dallas.
Oh, Luka. I can see that.
He was, he came in almost at the same age that LeBron did. So in terms of years, I mean, he's playing 22 years now to get where he is to break the record.
Yeah.
Who can sustain most of the players 1-2 year in college before they come out into the NBA? Starting at 19, he came right out of high school, did LeBron, and so did Luka. He's got that young start.
Let me ask you a question. Is anybody going to break Cal Ripken Jr.'s record?
Probably not. Not with the way they manage baseball nowadays.
Oh, true. That's not.
Yeah, number of consecutive days, games played.
I still think Jordan's the GOAT.
But still, look at how long that record stood, though.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said I think Jordan's still the GOAT.
Not a great owner of a basketball team, though. Not a good not a good Chicago White Sox.
I mean, I look at it this way: when Michael was in Chicago, they put a great team together. Okay.
LeBron was on super teams and still couldn't win championships.
And
they won the first one down in Miami.
You go down Miami, but you go to Cleveland.
Went back to Cleveland to win.
There was nothing there in Cleveland.
And that's why he left in the first
nothing
place.
There in Cleveland. But then you come to LA and he I won't say they had when him and Black Mamba were playing together, they were great teams. But you look at their team now in LA,
they're trying, but it's not there.
Thank you. So, we're comparing apples and oranges. If you go with the statistics of player versus player, point-wise, you got to say, in my opinion, you have to say LeBron.
There's a lot more going into the GOAT than just who scores the most points, though.
Well, and that's why one of the
I
biggest
agree.
differentials between the two of them in that argument is the number of titles.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing that's glaringly different
Yep.
between Michael and LeBron. All right. We mentioned earlier, we touched on the MSG Sphere. That is scheduled to open up later on this year in September. Supposedly it's going to primarily be for concerts and such and not really be a sports arena, but I'm sure that will change in due time. The big highlight is the outside of the Sphere is a television all into itself, where they'll be able to show what's inside, whatever they want to. That's huge to be able to have something like that. I think it's going to supplant what the the pyramid with that bright light does. Now you'll be able to watch stuff on outside of the Sphere.
So you can sit outside and watch it.
Whatever they project. I don't know if they're going to actually do what's inside out there. They may do a little bit of it. The place is sold out, let's say. They may want to do that, but still will be a unique venue all into itself.
I want to see a wrestling event there. If the entire thing inside is like a big LED screen, they could do some cool
Sure.
stuff with it.
That would be interesting. Absolutely.
Maybe they charge $20 outside for
Who knows?
outside seat.
But where it is, though, there's not
a little extra money.
Where it is located, there's not a whole lot of seating space like a park. I mean, where they're located, they're in Koval and Spring Mountain, Spring Mountain, yes, and that's Spring Mountain on the other side there.
UNLV.
There's rumors that U2 is going to be like the first residency there.
Yeah, I saw that as well. So check that out. Last but not least, that's right. Tomorrow is the Super Bowl, the last NFL Sunday, which means the following week, spring training opens up, and that's all I care about right now. Yes, sir. We know, Chief, you got the Eagles. I know that. Yeah, you can do that when we're done.
Okay.
Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles.
I'm going Chiefs.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is winning another championship.
I saw the stats comparing these two teams.
They're dead even.
Everything dead even. Points scored, of course, record, quarterback QBR, I think was whatever it was. Everything was equal. One wish I have is that it's a solid game. That's a good game, no blowouts, close game, everything else. I don't think Mahomes is still going to be 100%. I think the 2 weeks off has helped Jalen Hurts with his shoulder more than the ankle, because you still need to walk around and go to the bathroom, and you still have to put pressure on that ankle, even though he could be on crutches in a boot. As much as it pains me as a Giants fan, Rich, you're going to love me for this, Mr. Cash, but I got to take the Eagles. It pains me to do that. Sorry, but
I just want it to be a good football game.
I don't want tomorrow just to be remembered for the commercials.
I want to see a 30-27 game.
Chief just wants to see Rihanna.
Who?
Rihanna.
Oh my Lord, that's your halftime entertainment. Which will take 30 minutes.
That's
anyway.
when I go to the bathroom.
That's right. That's his potty break.
Yeah.
But I do want it to be a good game. That's all. Let it be a good game. I don't want to just remember it for the purposes of the commercials. All right. Two quick things before we say goodbye there, Mr. Chief.
Hey, first one, the puppy bowl. It's going to be on 3 channels tomorrow at 12 o'clock. That's important. Go support the puppy. But
Jerry Lawler.
I only like Jerry Lawler's.
But the biggest one, and the one I'm most honored at, is our good friend and professional wrestler out here, Sin Bodie. Congratulations on becoming a U.S. citizen yesterday.
Absolutely.
Shout out to you, Sin.
Congratulations, Sin, for sure. That's good. That's good stuff there. All right. We're about to wrap up a few minutes early. Next week, who's on next week? I don't even know anymore.
Dirty Dango.
Dirty Dango. Chief will be here. Maybe Thomas will be back. Matt will be here. We know John has to
I'll
be
have
back
the
here.
flip phone with me, folks, so call in.
Next week, bring in the can of string. 2 cans in a string, would you?
You'd shit if I did.
No, I wouldn't. All right.
know I'm that crazy.
Let's wrap it up here, Mr. Matt. Final thoughts for the day, please.
Everybody have a good, safe week. Stay warm. Still chilly outside. I can't wait for the heat. But enjoy your week. Tell your loved ones you love them. Tomorrow's never promised.
Yep.
Go Chiefs.
Yep.
And today's a gift as a present. Chief.
Give them a hug. Tell them you love them. Because Chief says so. Everybody have a great week.
Absolutely. 1 hour, join me at the top with special guest co-host George Miklos as we entertain our guest, actor, stuntman, martial arts expert, Mr. Anthony Pagliaro, also known as Anthony Thunder. He's in a new movie as well as other TV projects. No, not you. So make sure you join me in an hour for that. With that, as always, everybody be kind to everybody. Wise out. We're all to have. See you next week right here. And Thoughts Count Anywhere. See ya.